Namaskar. Welcome to this summary session of the 10th, 11th, and the 12th Adhyaya of Sri Bhagavad Gita. We start with our gratitude to the Lord, through whose grace everything is possible. We pray to this Guru Shishya Parampara through which this knowledge is preserved, transmitted to reach us. I pray my respects to my Guruji, Pujya Kuruma, with whose grace I am able to learn the scriptures and share this understanding with you. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the 10th or the 12th Adhyaya is basically Bhagavan in the 10th Adhyaya is showing his Vibhuti Yoga, the Ishwaratva of the Lord. In the 11th Adhyaya, Bhagavan shows this Ishwaratva by demonstrating his Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna, and this is how he shows his Ishwaratva. And in the 12th Adhyaya, Bhagavan shows how we can connect to the Lord, Bhakti Yoga, how we can connect to the Divine, and how we can achieve Him and attain Him. So let's start with the 10th Adhyaya, the Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti is nothing but Bhagavan's own glories, his own special manifestations that is showing us that in this place I am this, in this place I am this, and it shows many areas where we can see him in this world. And yoga means these are the ways, the upaya, the solutions to connect to the divine, the different ways of connecting to the divine. When Bhagavan says I am this in this, there is no smell of ego, because Bhagavan, his I-ness or aham is sarva vyapaka, and it is shuddha. So it's not limited like us individuals who have a limitation of our ego or ahankara to this body, mind, soul complex. And this is how when we say I am doing this, I am done this, I can do this, it smells of ego. So we have to try to think of Lord starting from one Murti Swarupa to Vibhutis, and then finally Sarva Vyapaka everywhere. And we need to understand that all these energies that is there in this world is through the Lord. So these are the ways we can connect to the divine. All these sadhanas that Bhagavan are showing they are not exclusive to each other. They are all mutually inclusive. We can start with Saguna Bhakti, see the Vibhuti Darshana, see the Vishwarupa Darshana, then we can see the Lord Sarvatra everywhere. So let us start with the first shloka. Shri Bhagavana Uvacha, Bhagavan starts and he pledges to tell Arjuna the highest Jnanam Paramam Vacha. He says, Bhuya Eva, listen again to my divine words. He says, because you are priya to me, and I'm going to tell you, because it will lead you to Hita Kamyaya, it will lead to your Kalyana, your benefit. Bhagavan jo bhi karte, whatever he does is for the upliftment, for the Uddhara of all of us, the Jivas. And that is why Bhagavan says, no one knows me completely. He says, neither the Devas nor the Rishis, they don't know me completely. Why? He says, because Aham Adi Rihi Devana. I am the Adi, I am the cause of all the Devas and the Maharshis and everyone. I am the cause. So we need to understand that Bhagavana is the Karana, Paramatma is the Karana, and Jagat is the Karya which comes from the Lord, and the Devas and all these have arisen from the Lord. Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha. So here Bhagavan says, one who knows me truly, in my real spirit, my true spirit, Tattvataha, jo mujhe jante hai, they are relieved from all bondage, Sarva Papai Pramuchyate. And what is that Tattvic Swarupa of Bhagavan? He says, Ajam, Anadim, I am unborn, I am beginningless, I don't have a beginning, I am Loka Maheshwaram, I am the Lord of all the beings, I am the Udbhavakarta. And Asamuda, such an intelligent person, is Sarva Papai Pramuchyate, is relieved of all the impurities, Ajnana, Avidya, all is relieved. And this is how it leads to the final understanding that God and Him is the one. In the next two shlokas, Bhagavana shows his Vibhuti Darshan. He starts giving some glimpses and shows that all these Prathak Vida Bhava Bhutanam Bhavanti, all these different attributes that we think we see of our own as our own, we take a lot of pride in all this. And Bhagavan says all these attributes, they are Matta Eva, they all arise from me. Don't think that they are yours. So he starts in the fourth shloka buddhi, gnana, the intellect and the knowledge that through which we get this, through the intellect we achieve this knowledge. We have a lot of pride, but Bhagavan says it is through me. Asammoha, absence of delusion, Shama, Satya, Shama, Dama, control of over our mind and our senses. All this, Bhagavan says, Sukha, Dukkha, our happiness, our miseries of our mind, Bhava, Abhava, creation, destruction, and Bhayam, Abhayam. All our fears and our fearlessness, everything, Bhagavan says, all these attributes, Matta Eva Pruthak Vida, they are all Matta Eva, they all come from me. All these attributes are because of me. Though Sukha, Dukkha, it does not come directly from the God. Guruji explains to us that it is the karma phala, that is what it is all about. But these rules are created by the Lord, and that's why ultimately we can say that it is because of. But we have to understand that Sukha and Dukkha are our own karma that we have to bear with these karmas, which are our pre-existing karma. Bhagavan also says ahimsa, samata, tushti, non-violence, being samatva, satisfaction, self-control, tapa, dana, yasha, fame, disrepute, ayasha, everything, all these human attributes, Bhagavan says, matta eva, they all come from me. And the next shloka starts with the understanding the creation of this world. He says, when the earth, origin of the universe is talks about, he says, Maharsha, Sapta Maharsha means Saptarshi, the 7 great rishis and the 4 Manu, they all came from me, they all were arising from my mind, the Manas Srushti, and through this, the entire Praja, Esham Loka Imah Prajaha, all this Praja, all this Srushti developed from these 7 rishis and 4 Manu, and that is the origin. He says, it is all, everything arises from the Lord, He is the Adi of everything. Etam Vibhutim Yogam Cha. So this is the way how we can understand, as Bhagavan is describing his Vibhuti, and the way we can understand this yoga. One who knows, Bhagavan says, Vedti Tattvataha, one who knows me truly, Nirguna, Asanga, Atma Swarupa, achieves, what does he achieve? Avikampena Yogena. So he achieves the steadfast yoga, becomes very sthir, something like Sthita Prajna Yoga, and he can see God everywhere, Sarvatra, Paramatma Drashti, and Bhagavan says, Natra Sanshaya, there is no doubt about this. And he again says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, I am the origin of all. So we need to develop this Karana Drashti. And Matta Sarvam Pravartate. He says, every activity is inspired by me. I'm all pervading. I'm everywhere. I'm omnipresent. Everything is through me. Wherever you see anything, you have to think of me. That is the Lay Prakriya, the Karya Karana Prakriya. When we see an object, we have to see that this comes from the Lord. And that is how we can, iti matva bhajante mam. By this understanding, Viveki Purusha, so one who is intelligent, who has discriminating power, Viveka, with full of love, devotes to the Lord with full of love and faith. So this is how is the understanding that Lord wants from us. And he says, Machitta Madgata Prana, one whose mind is in me, one who is completely devoted, surrendered to me. Bodhayanta Parasparam, the devotees, when they meet, they talk about me. Katayanta Ashtamam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti. They are always contented, they are satisfied, and they are always connected to me. Such a devotee, Bhagavan, he says, is an ideal devotee. And what does Bhagavan do for such devotees? He says, Tesham Satata Yuktana. So for such devotees who are Priti Purvakam, Bhajatam, those who are ever connected to me with devotion, with love, Bhagavan says, I give them the best gift, Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Bhagavan says, I give them a pure Sukshma, Shuddha Buddhi, intellect. And what do we do with that intellect? Bhagavan says, Yena Mam Upayantite. That with this same intellect, Sukshma and Buddhi, Pavitra Buddhi, we can attain the Lord. We can understand this Sukshma Tattva, we can understand the Paramatma Tattva, and with this we can attain the Lord. Why does the God do this? He says in the next shloka, Tesham Eva Anukampartham. Means for my sheer compassion, out of sheer compassion for my devotees who are constantly connected to me. What does Bhagavan says? He says, he does Agnanajam Tamaha, that darkness of ignorance. He says, Nashaya Atma Bhavasto, whatever is there in our inner conscience, the darkness of ignorance, Bhagavan says, he destroys this. Nashaya. How? Gnanadipena Pasvata, by kindling the light of knowledge, and Bhagavan bestows a special grace, gives a special gift for his devotees. He removes the darkness of ignorance and gives the Atma Gnana, the light of knowledge with which we can see that me and the Lord are one and the same. There is no difference. So after this, Arjuna starts saying, he does a praiseful prayer, stuti of the Lord. He understands who the Lord is. He says, you are the Param Brahma, Param Dhama, you are Pavitram, Paramam Pavitram, Purusham Shashwatam, you are the eternal being, and you are Divya, Adideva, you are divine and the cause of all devas, you are Ajam, you are unborn, and you are Vibhum, you are omnipresent. So Arjuna understands this, the true nature, the Tattvic Swarupa of the Lord. And he says, he accepts this Ishwaratva with a lot of faith. He says, this is how you have been described by the Rishis, the Deva Rishis, the Naradji, Asita, Devala, Vedavyasa Rishi. All these Rishis have described you like this. And not only all these Rishis, but even you yourself have told me the same, that you are like this. This is your Nirguna Atma Swarupa. And he says, whatever you are saying, whatever you have said, I truly believe this with a lot of faith. He says, Nahi te Bhagavan Vyaktin, all your different personalities, manifestations, nobody, na viduhu, na deva, na danavaha. Even the devas, neither the demons or the devas can understand you completely. Only Bhagavan, you yourself can understand yourself completely. He says, Swayam eva atmana atmanam. You yourself only can understand, know yourself completely. Hey Purushottama, he says, and gives 2 or 3 other beautiful salutations to the Lord. Deva Deva, Jagatpate, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha. You are the Lord of all the beings. You are the Lord of the Devas. You are the nurturer of this universe. And you only know yourself completely. And that is how Arjuna now gently puts in that request to the Lord, that I want to see your Vibhuti. He has this Ichcha. Vaktum Arhasya Sheshana Divya Yatma Vibhutayaha. I want to see your complete divine manifestation, he says. And how you are pervaded in this entire world, as you say that you are there in the entire world, but I can't see you everywhere. So please show me this vibhutis of yours. And he says, how can I know you? Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintayosi bhagavan maya. How can I know you, contemplating on you always? In which places, where, which objects, which forms can I see you, think of you, manifestations, vibhuti darshan. I want to see you. I want to connect to you. And this is the desire, intense desire of Arjuna. And he also says, tell me at great length, Vistarena Atmana, Atmano Yogam. Tell me in great length, tell me in great details, all your various manifestations, Vibhuti Cha Janardana, because I am not able to get satisfied. I'm Bhuya Kathaya Truptirhi. I am not satisfied, he says, and I want to keep seeing, listening to your nectar-like divine forms. And he ends his prayer. And the next shloka, God starts describing his vibhutis. So he says, Shri Bhagavana Uvacha, Hantate Kathayishyami. Hantate means okay. He accepts Arjuna's prayers and he says, okay, I'm going to tell you for sure, Atma Vibhutaya, all my divine manifestations. He says, but I'll tell you Pradhanyata, only the main ones. As he says, Na Asti Ant Vistarasya Me. There is no end to my expanse of divine manifestations. It is Ananta. One of the names of Hari, Bhagavan, is Ananta. He is endless. And Bhagavan himself says there is no end to my divine manifestation. So I'll tell you all the main ones. And he starts describing, and the first vibhuti that Bhagavan tells Arjuna, he says that, oh Arjuna, oh Gudakesha, listen to this very carefully. You are the one who is won over sleep. Aham Atma. I am your Atman. I am your Chaitanya. I am Paramatma. I am the Aham of yours, the real Aham. I am as your Atma. And he says, not only your Atma, Sarva Bhutashaya Sthita. I am the cause of this entire world. I am present in every one and all. He says, Aham Adishcha Madhyamcha, Bhutanam Anta Evacha. I am origin, present, and the end of all the Bhuta, all the beings, all the species. Bhagavan says they all come from me. And then he starts describing his vibhutis, how we can see him in different ways. And he shows the main places. So it's not that this is the only place that God is, but at least we can start from there and then we can expand our Bhagavata Buddhi or Bhagavata Bhava. He says, I am there as Aditya Namaham Vishnuhu. I am there as Vishnu in all the Aditi's sons. I am as a Anshuman, the sun rays in all the luminous, Marichi in the wind gods. I am there as a moon, the sun, he says. So one can see me everywhere during day or night. He says, I am Samaveda in all the 4 Vedas. Among all the Devas, I am Indra, who is the king of Devas. In all the Indriya, among all the senses, I am the Mana. And in all the beings, I am the intellect, Chetana. Here, Chetana does not mean soul, it means consciousness. It does not mean consciousness, it means intellect, because Bhagavan has already said Aham Atma, that consciousness is already talked about. So essentially, we should try and see God everywhere. It says, Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi. I am Shankara in 11 Rudras, Kuber in Yakshas and Rakshas. I am Vasunam Pavakas Chasmi. I am fire. I am Meru amongst all the mountains. And he says, Purodasam cha mukhyam mam, I'm Brahaspati in all the praise. I'm Kartike Senani namaham Skandaha in all the war chiefs, and Sarasamasmi Sagaraha, I'm ocean in all the reservoirs, large reservoirs of water. So the idea is that we should feel God everywhere. Wherever we see ocean, we should try to try to invoke the Lord. And this way it will make us humble. We'll see the greatness of the Lord, and it will make us feel that we are just a very small drop in the ocean. Maharshinam Bhruguraham. I am Bhrigu Rishi in all the great rishis. Giramasyeka Aksharam. I am the one Akshara, the Lord Omkar in all the spoken words. I am Yagnanam Japayagnosmi. I am chanting in all the yagnas, and I am Himalaya in all the stavara immovable objects. We should try to see God everywhere. He says Ashwatta Sarva Vrukshanam. I am people tree in all the trees, Narada in all the Devarishis, Chitraratha in Gandharvas, and Kapila Muni in all the realized souls. Essentially, Uchchai Shravasam Ashwanam. He says, see me as Uchchai Shravasa horse, Airavat amongst all elephants, and in all the humans see me as a king, and in all the weapons see me as Vajra, and Kamadhenu in all the cows, and in the Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha, Vasukihi in all the snakes. Then he says, in all the Nagas see me as Sheshnaga, in all the water bodies see me as Varuna Deva, in all the forefathers see me as the king Aryama, and among all the Sanyamatamaham Yamaha, I am the Yama of all the lawmakers. In the demons, Prahladas Chasmi Daityanam see me as Prahlada, Kala Kalaimatamaham Mugendraha, in all animals see me as lion, and in all birds see me as Garuda, Vainate. In all that creates purity, see me as Pavana, the wind god. In all the armed people, I am the Rama Shastra Dutamaham. In reptiles, see me as crocodile, and in flowing rivers, see me as Jahnavi, Ganges. Sarganam Adidarantascha Madhyam Chaivahar. I am the beginning, present, and the end of this universe. Atma Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya, Vidyanam. In all the Vidya, I am the Sreshta Vidya, which is the Atma Vidya, or the Adhyatma Vidya, which is the Vidya of the self, Atma Vidya. And he says, amongst all the Vada, I am the people who discuss, I am the dialogue. So essentially, he continues describing himself in all the alphabets. See me as a vowel Akarosmi. It comes after all the alphabets. Say we see Sa is also half Sa and So it is in all the alphabets. Similarly, Bhagavan says in all the pair of Dvandva, the dualities of the world, I am the Dvandva in all the Samasa, and I am eternal time. I am the nurturer, Dhata Aham, Vishwato Mukha, and I am the Karma Phala, Karma Dhyaksha. Then he says, I am Mrityu, I am the death, which Sarva Haras Chaham. I take away everything from a person in a flesh of a moment, and Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam. I am the what is to be created in the future. And then all these attributes he describes: Kirti, the fame, Shri, wealth, Vak, speech, good speech, memory, the power, Medha Shakti, to retain the knowledge, Dhruti Shakti, patience, Kshama, forgiveness, and all these qualities which are there in Narinam, all these qualities which are predominantly seen in women. He says, I am that part of those. Bruhat Sam, in the Samaveda, I am the meter, I am Gayatri meter. In all the months, I am Makshara, and all the Rutunam Kusumakara, the spring season. And he says, Tejas Tejasvinamaham, I am in all the brilliant people see me as the brilliance, and Sattvam Sattva Vatamaham, in all the Sattvic people see me as the Sattva. So in all these good things, all our Teja, Sattva, we should not have ego or pride always. Even for our goodness, we should feel His grace always that is flowing through us. This is what it means. In the Vrishnikul, see me as Vasudeva. Amongst the Pandavas, see me as Arjuna. In Munis, I am the Vedavyasa, and in poets, I am Shukracharya, and in all the suppressors, I am the punishment, and I am the right strategy in the victorious, and the silence in the secrets, and knowledge of the wise. So this, we should try and see the Lord everywhere in all His feet. And then finally he says, O Arjuna, in all the beings, I am the seed. Chapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham. Arjuna, I am the seed. Just like a seed is avyakta, it is not seen, and then it sprouts into a beautiful tree. Similarly, from the Lord, this entire universe is sprouting. There is nothing in this world, he says, living or non-living, characharam, everything is connected to me. There is nothing which is separate away from me. Everything is like, one full part, one full. And that is how we should see that we are all connected. And he says, Nantah asti Mama Divyanam. There is no anta, there is no end to my divine manifestations. Vibhuti Nam Parantapa. Whatever I have told to Esha, Tuddeshata Prokta, is only one part of a very small part, and it is not possible to describe by complete manifestations. This is what we should understand. Bhagavan himself is saying, and he says, in a short, he says, wherever you see any Vibhuti, Sattvam Vibhuti, any glory which is Sattvic, any Shri Mat, that means any prosperity, any wealth, or anything related to wealth, or Urjitam Evava, any energy or any enthusiasm or any attributes, characteristics, and then you understand that this originates from Mama Teja Ansha Sambhavam. It all originates from one small ansha of my entire Yoga Shakti, my powers, Bhagavan says, and that's how we have to understand that this Saguna part of the Lord is a very small fraction of the entire formless Nirguna of the Lord. And finally, in the last shloka, Bhagavan says, Athava bahu naitena kim jnatena tava Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, what benefit will you have knowing more than this? Just understand the summary that Vishtabhya aham midam krutsnam ekanshena stito jagata. I behold this entire universe by my one part, my ansha. And whatever you see, you must try to see me. That is what Bhagavan has described in the 10th Adhyaya. And the same description is going to carry forward in the 11th Adhyaya. He is going to show him his practical, the Vishwarupa Darshana that Bhagavan is going to show Arjuna. So let us start the 11th Adhyaya, the Vishwarupa Darshana. The spiritual journey of the devotee starts with, devotion towards the incarnate Avatar Swarupa, initially in a Murti Swarupa. And gradually then we have to start seeing the expanse of the Lord everywhere in this world, in the Ishvara, in the Jiva, in the Vibhutis, and then finally in the Vishwarupa, and then finally we can go to the Brahma, the Nirguna Paramatma. So this is how the spiritual journey generally evolves. In the 11th Adhyaya, the first shloka, Arjuna speaks, Arjuna Uvacha, he says, Mada Anugrahaya Paramam. You have had a tremendous grace on me, and that's why you gave me this Guhyam Adhyatma Sangnitam, this very secretive type of the knowledge of the Atma. And that's why with this knowledge, what has happened, he says, Mohoyam Vigato Mamaha. My delusions have been destroyed. They have gone completely. And this is what Arjuna understands. He had a lot of delusion, Moha in the first Adhyaya. He didn't want to fight the war. Now he says that my Moha has been destroyed with Atma Gnana, Adhyatma Gnana, the secret Atma Gnana that you have given me. I have now understood the reality, which is very different from what I used to understand. He says, he does a stuti to the Lord. He says, Bhava Apyaya, I have heard from you that the origin and dissolution of all beings, I have Shruto Vistarasho Maya, in great details I have heard from you. Tvatta Kamala Patraksha. Kamala Patraksha is the Sambodhana to the Lord. He says, Mahatmam Api Cha Avyayam. I want to, about your eternal, indestructible splendor, Avyaya, Mahatmya. I have already understood this, he says, and now he desires to see the Lord in his cosmic form. He says, Evamet Tattatvam Atmanam Parameshwara Drashtum Ichhami Te Rupam Aishwaram Purushottama. Oh great Lord, as you have described yourself, you are the same. I have a desire, Drashtum Ichhami, of you, seeing you, Rupam Aishwaram, your Aishwara in a complete splendor. He Purushottama, he requests to the Lord. And then immediately, then he says, Arjuna says, that only if you believe that I am eligible to see this, Manyase Yadi Tachakyam, if I am possible, it is possible for me to see this, behold this form, only then, oh Lord of all the yogis, he says, Yogeshwara, please show me Darshayatmana Avyayam, show me your perennial form, let the Lord's wish prevails. He has put in his wish, but then he says, only if you feel that I am eligible to see this, and then Bhagavan starts answering. Says, Pashyame Partha Rupani. Bhagavan accepts Arjuna's request. He says, okay, see Arjuna, now you can see God is ready to show him his Vishwarupa, Pashya. And he says, Shatashotha, Shastrasha, by hundreds and thousands of different forms, Nana Vidhani Divyani, they are all Divya, they are all celestial, Nana Varna Akrutihi, different forms and different shapes and colors, you will be able to see. Bhagavan says, Bhagavan also tells him what else you are going to see, Arjuna, in this Vishwarupa. He says you are going to see all these Devatas, Aditi, Vasus, Rudra, Ashwini Kumar, Marutagan, and Ashcharyani Bharata. Whatever you are going to see is going to astonish you completely, hey Bharata. And Then he says, Ihaikastam Jagat Kratsnam. In one body of mind, you will see at one place the entire complete world of Sacharacharam, the moving and the unmoving or the non-moving things, Mama Dehat Gudakesha, and whatever Drashtu Ichchasi, whatever you else desire to see, you will be able to see. Oh Arjuna, don't worry. But then Lord tells Arjuna that Natu Mam Shakyase Drashtu. With your eyes, regular eyes, your normal eyes, the Chakshu, it's not possible to see my divine manifestation, my Vishwarupa, he says. But then if Arjuna, before Arjuna becomes, Mayus, Lord Krishna tells him that I shall, Divyam Dadami Te Chakshuhu, I shall give you divine eyes. Dadami Divya Chakshu, I'll give you that real Samarthya with which you'll be able to see Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram, you'll be able to see my divine splendor. And then Lord becomes silent and Sanjaya starts speaking. So Sanjaya is now describing the Vishwarupa in the next 6 shlokas. He is telling King Dhritarashtra, Ho Rajan, Eva Muktva Tato Rajan, Mahayogeshwaro Harihi. After this, Lord of Yogis, one who takes away all the Harihi, who takes away all the sins, shows Arjuna Darshaya Mas Pathaya Paramam Rupam Aishwaram. He shows Arjuna out of his own grace, his divine form, with the great splendor. The Vishwarupa is being unfolded now. And now Sanjaya is describing to Dhritarashtra what he is seeing, Aneka Vaktram Nayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, all the divine cosmic form of the Lord with many, many different faces, many different eyes, unbelievable forms, which is Adbhuta, undescribable, Aneka Divya Abharanam, with many, many Divya costumes, divine, Anek Ayudha, Anek divine weapons which are ready to deploy, with Divyam Malyam Bharadharam, all the divine garlands, divine clothes, and the divine body paste with the fragrance that there is anointed on the body. Sarvam Ashcharyamayam, everything is full of wonderment. It is Anantam, it is endless. And Vishwato Mukham, the face of the Lord is facing all the sides of the world. There is nothing like front, back. It's a very giant form that Sanjaya is seeing. And his then next shlokas is describing what is the Teja, the effulgence of this form of the Lord, and compares this with thousands of suns. When 1,000 suns arises in the sky at one time, Devi Surya Sahasrasya, he says even that light cannot equal the luminance of the great Lord in this cosmic form because it is very, very radiant. And what does Arjuna is see that Sanjaya is describing Tatraikastam Jagat Kritsam. At one place Arjuna is seeing all the differentiated forms in the body of the Lord of the Devas. And what does Arjuna do? Sanjaya is describing, he says Tatasa Vismaya Vishto Rashtaroma Dhananjaya. Arjuna is filled with astonishment, with excitement. Pranamya Shirsa Devam. He bows down to the Lord. Krutanjali Abhashata. He says Krutanjali means he becomes very grateful, gratitude, full of gratitude, with surrender, with folded hands. He says, and seeing the greatness of the Lord makes us humble. We feel that we are just a drop in this ocean. And Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna now starts describing the Vishwarupa. He says, Pashyami Devanstava Deva Dehe. Arjuna says, oh Lord, in your body I am seeing all the Devas, all the different groups of Bhuta Vishesha Sangan, all the types of different species. I am seeing Brahmana Mesham, Kamalasanastam. I am seeing Lord Brahmaji seated on a lotus seat. All the Rishis, Sarvan Urganscha, all the divine reptiles, Aneka Bahu Dharavaktra Netram, with many, many limbs, many trunks, many mouths, and many, many eyes. I am seeing your endless forms. Na anta na madhyam na punastavadim. I cannot see the beginning, the present, and the end of this form, which is so great. He says, oh Vishwarupa and Vishweshwara. Vishweshwara is the Lord of the universe. It is the Nimitta Karana of the universe. And Vishwarupa, one who manifests in this Vishwa with his own Vishwarupa, the cosmic form. That is the Upadana Karana. And that is the definition of the Lord in our Shastras. Is the Nimitta and the Upadana Karana of everything that we see. So Arjuna is describing the cosmic form, the Vishwarupa. It says now he is able to see the Chaturbhuja Swarupa of the Lord. And he describes Kiritinam, Gadinam, Chakrinam Cha. He says, I can see all the Gada, Padma, Chakra, everything in the hands of the Lord, which is Tejo Rashim, very luminous form of the Lord, which is lighted from all the sides, Sarvadipto Nantam. He says, Pashyami Tvam Durnirikshayam. But he is facing some difficulty now. Why? Because the Lord's form is very, very luminous. Has been described already earlier with 1,000 suns arising in the sky, which is a burning fire, he says, and it is very apramayam, it is unmeasurable from all the sides. Arjuna continues his description, and now he sees the unmanifest, the Nirguna Swarupa of the Lord, and he says, he does stuti to the Lord, that you are Aksharam, Paramam, Veditavyam, You are indestructible, changeless, avyaya. You are only Tamasya Vishwasya Paramam Nidhanam. You are the final resting place for the entire world. You are Veditavyam, only worth knowing. You are Avyaya Shashwata Dharma Gopta. You are eternal protector of the Sanatan Dharma. And you are, in his opinion, Arjuna describes the Lord. Then he says, you have no beginning, na anta, na adi. Yes, and you have endless courage. You have Ananta Viryam, Ananta Bahum. You have innumerable limbs. Shashi Surya Netram, the moon and the sun appear as your eyes. Pashyami Tvam Dipta Hutashavakram. And your Tejasa, your lit fire. Vishwamidam Tapantam, it is burning this world with heat. Arjuna started now feeling the heat of the distress because of the very luminous form. The cosmic form essentially tells us that God and world is one and the same, and this is the understanding that we need to develop, and we need a very sukshma buddhi, sukshma pure mind to understand this. The God consciousness only can create this kind of purity so as to we can see this everywhere, the Lord. And Arjuna is now going to see the other side of the Lord, because creation and destruction and part and parcel of this world, and they are the different swarupas of the Lord himself. Then Arjuna is continuing his description. He says, Dhavya Prithivya Vidammantaram Hi. The entire space is pervaded by you alone. He says, Dishashcha Sarva, after seeing your majestic Drashvat Adbhutam Rupam Ugram, your ferocious form, and all the three lokas, Lokatrayam Pravyatitam Mahatman, all the three lokas are getting distressed. And then he is describing again how the devatas are entering out of fear. Some are praying to the Lord, some are groups are saying Swasti Yukta, may peace prevail, and singing devotional songs for the Lord. And he is seeing all the astonishing forms of all the devas, the Rudras, the Adityas, Vasu, Sadhyagad, Ashwina Kumara, Gandharva, Yaksha, all the realized wise men, all are astonished to see, they are seeing this Vishwarupa. So that's what Arjuna is describing. He says, Rupam Mahatte Bahubhaktra Netram. He is seeing the Lord with great limbs, many majestic forms, with many eyes, many hands, many feet, with large teeth, large gums. And he says, Loka Pravyatitaha Tatha Aham. That Loka, all the people are getting distressed, and so I am also getting distressed. He now accepts that I am getting distressed by seeing this very ferocious form of the Lord. And then he again describes that this is a very vast form which is reaching the sky, which is very luminous, and many colors of the mouth. The Lord is open with large glowing eyes, and his inner self is burning with distress. He says, Oh God, Dhrutim na Vindami Shamam cha Vishnu, please bring some solace, please bring some peace. Oh Vishnu, he is now feeling the heat. And then he again describes Tanchtra Karalani Chate Mukhani. I'm seeing your large ghastly form with giant mouth, teeth and gums, and burning fire, Kala Anala Sannibhani, the burning fire which is almost like at the end of the Pralaya Kala Agni. He says, Dishona Jane, I have no sense of any directions. Nalabhecha Sharma, I have no benefit, happiness. I am be pleased, Prasida, He Devesha, He Jagan Nivasa, please be quiet and down, please have grace on me. And that's what he's saying. And he's seeing, Arjuna is again seeing all the sons of Dhritarashtra along with the groups of kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all along with all the main warriors are being sucked into the mouth of the Lord with great force. The mouth which has a very large Tansra Karalani, large scary teeth, some are stuck in between Kechit Dulagna, the Shanantareshu, and some Churinitai, they are all shattered to pieces. Some of the heads have been shattered to pieces. So he's seeing this ghastly form of the Lord. And then he describes, gives two examples how Yatha Nadi Nam Bahavom Vivega means, it gives an example of river, just as the rivers they flow towards the ocean. Similarly, all the strong warriors are entering into the mouth on fire. And also gives another example of live example of the flies which are attracted towards the light, just as all these flies or moths are forcefully attracted towards the lighted fire for their own destruction. Similarly, all the people for their destruction are rapidly entering your mouth. And what Bhagavan is doing, he is licking and eating them, thoroughly enjoying all the people who are entering the mouth of Vishnu. He says, this entire world is feeling your radiance, severe distress, and severe heat. Sasta Vogra Pratapanti Vishnu. Everybody is feeling the stress of the heat of this form of the Lord, he says. And finally, he gathers up courage. Arjuna asks Bhagavan, Akhya ime ko Bhavan Ugra Rupo. Tell me, oh God, who are you in this ferocious form? Namostute Deva Vara Prasida. I bow down to you. Vignatum Ichchami. I have a desire to know you, who truly you are. Nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. I cannot understand your actions, who you are, what are you up to, what are you trying to do. And then Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Bhagwan starts speaking in his cosmic form, the Vishwarupa. He says, Kalosmi, I am eternal time, against which everything gets destroyed, and that's why I am the death personified, he says. And what he is doing, he says, Loka Kshay Krut Pravruddho, I am here to destroy people. Lokan Samahartumiha Pravruttaha. This is my activity, this is my action, to massacre people. Rutepi Tvam Bhavishyanti Sarve. All the warriors in the opposite army, Pratyanikeshu Yodaha. Even if you don't fight, they're not going to stay, they're not going to remain in the future. And that's why Twasmatta Uttishtam Yasholabhasva. That's why Arjuna, therefore you get up and fight this war. Understand, Jitva Shatrun, achieve the fame, Yasholabhasva, achieve the fame, get the honor, and win over your enemies and enjoy Bhungshva, Rajyam, Samruddham, enjoy this prosperous kingdom. He says, Maya Ivete Nihata Purvameva. All these warriors have already been killed by me. You don't have to worry about it. Be a Nimitta Matra Bhava Savya Sachin. Be an instrument, and you try to do your duty. You get up and fight this war. Already whatever is going to happen is already predestined. You don't need to worry about it. And that's what we need to understand in our life. We have to understand that I am the Nimitta Matra, and everyone else is also Nimitta Matra. We should not try to blame others for whatever happens to us. Try to forgive them. And this helps us to dissolve our own ego, which is the biggest obstacle. And there are many factors that affect the outcome of the job that I'm doing apart from my own efforts. And that's why when I get the credit, I should try to learn to share the credit, appreciation and fame. And this will help me to accept the higher power in my life. Bhagavan is what he's seeing again is Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna and all the other warriors who are already killed by me. You kill them. Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, don't have any fear or distress. Win over your enemies and fight this war. Arjuna, do your duty, do your kartavya karma by being Nimitta Matra Bhava Sabya Sachin. And Sanjay is now describing Etachutva Vachanam Keshavasya. After listening to these words of Krishna, Arjuna is standing with folded hands, Krutanjali, Vepamana, is trembling. Kiriti, Namaskrutva Bhuya Evaha Krishnam. He becomes very emotional. He is not able to speak. Bhita Pita, and also has a lot of fear. And he bows down to the Lord, has pranam to the Lord. And then Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna now does a beautiful stuti of the Lord, his praiseful prayer for the Lord. He says, Sthane Rishikesha. Sthane means it is appropriate. Hey Rishikesha, O Lord of the senses. After singing glory of you, your deeds, people feel very happy, they feel elated. Prahashyat Anurajyatecha. Then they develop love and attachment for you. Rakshansi Bhitani Dishodravanti. All the demons who fear you, they run around in different directions, whereas the group of wise men worship you. Everything is Thane, everything is appropriate, everything is okay. And we need to understand this in our life. Guruji tells us that this is a magical word. It can be life-changing if we really understand the true meaning of this word. Everything is okay. There is no need to complain. We need to have a peace of mind. Life is full of dualities, creates many circumstances. I just need to understand and do what best I can do with the best of my abilities in the given situation, and leave the rest, accept whatever happens as it's okay, all is well, no problem. And at relations, at my workplace, I can accept different points of view, and I can also accept myself completely, and I can be open to change in my life. And then Arjuna says, Kasmachate Named, how can I not go to you? You are the beginning of the Brahmaji, the best teacher. He is doing his stuti to the Lord. You are in different forms. You are the Lord of the Devas. You are the home to the entire world. Jagan Nivasa Tomaksharam Sadasat Param Yata. You are eternal. You are the truth and illusion in all the forms. You are Adi Deva Purusha. You are the beginning of Devas. You are changeless. You are Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. You are the final home. You are the knower. Vettasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama. You are the knower, the known or worth knowing. You are the final destination of the Jiva. Entire world is pervaded by you. He is doing the stuti towards the Lord in the Vishwarupa. And he says, I can see all the Devatas. You are in the form of the wind god, the god of death, Yama, fire god, water god, moon, as Brahmaji, and as all Prapita, the great grandfather. I bow down to you 1,000 times again and again. He says, I bow down to you from the front, from behind, from all the directions, and I can see you in all the places, in all the forms. You are endlessly strong, bold, and you are sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarva. You are, except one and all, you are pervaded in all. And then Arjun asks for his pardon for his mistakes, which he may have done unknowingly. He says, Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam. Understanding you as my friend, I may have spoken some words like, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadav, Hey Saketi, not knowing ajanata mahimanam tavedam. I may not have known your great mahima, your splendor, or maybe out of pramada, out of laziness, or pranayena vapi, or out of a lot of affection for you, I may have spoken such words. And it shows Arjuna's simplicity. He accepts his mistakes and he says, Achava avahasa sartham. In a lighter mood, I may have asat I may have disregarded you. Why vihara shayya asana bhojaneshu, while going out, while sleeping, eating, or sitting together in privacy or in front of others. Tat samaksham tat kshamaye tvam aham aprameyam. Please forgive me, O Lord, you are beyond all imagination, you are aprameyam, you are great, please forgive me. He says, Pitasi lokasya, you are the father to this living, non-living world, you are respectable, Gurur Gariyan, you are the greatest teacher of the teachers. No one is similar to you, who can be better than you in all these three lokas? And he says, I bow down to you completely, please forgive me. And then he gives three examples, just as Piteva Putrasya, just like a father forgives his son, Sakheva Sakyuhu, a friend another, Priyaha Priyah Yarhasi, just like a lover forgives a loved one, Arhasi say Deva Sodum, O Deva, please bear with my mistakes and forgive me. And Arjuna asks for his forgiveness. And then he says, seeing what I have never seen before, Adrashta Purvam, I'm very happy, Drashitosmi Drashtva, by seeing whatever I have seen, but I'm also disturbed my mind, Bhainacha Pravyatitam Manome, and that's why he now requests, Tadeva me Darshaya Deva Rupam, I want to see your original Chaturbhut Swarupa, Prasida Devesha, He Jagan Nivasa, be pleased. He says, Kiritinam, Gadinam, Chakrihastam, Tvam, I want to see your Chaturubhuta Swarupa, Bhagwan. He prays to the Lord to show him the Chaturubhuta Avtara. So Sri Bhagwan Uvacha, then Bhagwan tells Arjuna that I am very pleased by you, Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam. And that's why I have shown you this Vishwarup Darshima Atma Yoga, which is due to my Yoga Shakti. And this is very luminous, Tejomayam Vishwam Ananta Agyam, which is vast, endless, and beginning of all. Twadanyayana Nadrashtu Purvam. No one else apart from you, Arjuna, has ever seen this kind of a form, the Vishwarupa Darshana, before. He says it's not possible to see by Veda, Yagna, Adhyaya, Nadanena, neither by donations, neither by karma, nor by tapa, nor by rigorous penance. This form is not Eva Rupam Shakti Aham Nruloke. In this sloka, it is just not possible to see this form, what you have seen, Drashtum Twadanyayana Rupraveda, what you have seen in this mortal world. Apart from you, no one has seen this kind of a form in such great details. Mate Vyatha Maafcha Vimuda Bhavo. No, don't get disturbed now is consoling Arjuna. Don't get confused seeing my ghastly form. Let go of your fear. Vapeta Bihi Pritamana. Get back to your happy state. Punastvam Tadeva Me Rupam Midam Drashya. I'll show you my original Chaturbhut Swarupa. Bhagwan is very, very grateful, graceful. And Sanjaya is now saying, Ityarjunam Vasudevas Tatha. Vasudeva Krishna told Arjuna again, Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyaha. He shows his original Chaturbhuj form. Ashvasayamasa gave solace to Arjuna Bhita Menam, who is already in fear. Bhutva Punah Saumya Vapu Mahatma. He comes back to his very pleasing Saumya Chaturbhuja Swarupa. And with this, Arjuna is now seeing the Saumya Swarupa and he comes back to his senses. He comes, and Gitaji also comes back to his original meter, which Drashtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samvruttaha Sacheta Prakrutim Gataha. So he says, I'm now come back to my senses. After seeing your Saumya Swarupa, He Janardana, I'm now Samvrutta, I'm better organized. Sacheta, I've regained my consciousness, and Prakrutim Gataha, I've come back to my own original nature. Sri Bhagwana Uvacha. So Bhagwan says, Sudurdasham Idam Rupam. Seeing this form, Vishwarupa of mine, is very, very rare. It is very durlabha, and it is possible only after the great difficulties. Sudurdasham Idam Rupam. Drashvanas Yanmama. Even Devas, Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha, they are always very, very eager to see this form. But this form of mine, Bhagavan says, cannot be seen by Veda, na tapasa, na danena, na chejaya, neither by Veda, nor by penance, nor by donations, nor by yagna. It is possible to see this kind of a Vishwarupa. And finally, Lord Krishna says how it is possible to see this. He says, Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyam aham evam vido Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, only with ananya bhakti, one-pointed devotion, it is possible to know me in this swarupa, gnatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum. Oh Lord, to know me, to see me, and to understand me in this reality. Hey Parantapa, it is only possible with ananya bhakti, it is possible. And he is now summarizing, coming to the end of this adhyaya, showing that it is only by ananya bhakti, that ananya means that there is firm commitment towards the Lord, and thus God is the only priority, and love, respect, and devotion is only for the Lord. God is the only goal. There is no other goal or no other thing that we need to achieve by doing His bhakti, and it is an acceptance for all the situations in our life. And finally, in the last shloka, Bhagavan says, Madkarma krun mat paramo. He describes the steps of the devotee's journey, the sadhana. He says 5 things. Madkarma para. He says, do karma yoga, do all your actions for me. Mad parayanaha, mad para. He says, he surrendered to me. Mad bhaktaha, be my devotee. Sangha varjitaha, do all this without your attachments. Raga, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, and be devoid of all animosity towards all the beings. Dvesha, no raga and no dvesha. So these are the 5 things which are more detailed described in the 12th adhyaya, which is the Bhakti Yoga. So let us start the 12th adhyaya, which is the Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga essentially is connection to the divine by our devotion. Once we understand the Ishwaratva, now we have to connect to the divine. And it is said that this Samanya Krupa, God's grace, is on everyone. But to get His special attention, His Vishesh Krupa, we need to do something special. And that special is Bhakti, or devotional worship. So, the first, break battery change kar diya. So the first slok of the 12th adhyaya starts with Arjuna's question, Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paripasate. Out of these 2 paths, he asks, which one is better? The Saguna Upasana path, those devotees who are constantly connected with the Lord, who are involved in complete devotion to the Lord, or the second, he says, Akshar Avyakta, those who are devoted to the changeless, Avyakta, unmanifest Bhagwana, or the Lord, or the Self, Nirguna Upasana. Which one? Who is Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha? Who is Yoga Vitta? Who is the real knower of the yoga or this path or the upaya? Who is the real, that is the Arjuna's question, because he has heard the Saguna Upasana, he has also heard the Nirguna Swarupa, Nirguna Tattva, and that Upasana is also understands. And that's why Arjuna asks Bhagavan that which one is better, the Saguna Upasana or the Nirguna Upasana. Shri Bhagavana Uvacha, Bhagavana answers in the second shloka. It says, Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate. One who keeps his mind in me. Nitya Yukta means who is constantly connected with me. And Shraddhaya Parayo Upetaha. Param Shraddha, Paraya Shraddha means one who has utmost faith in me. That person, Teme Yukta Tamamataha. So Bhagavan answers saying that the Saguna path is the better, the safe and the suitable alternative. He doesn't say that this is Yoga Vittamaha, it is the best path, but he says this is the good path, for most suitable path for the yogi, because this is something which is just like when Bhagavan was asked about Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa, he says Karma Yoga is the more safe and the suitable path for most of us, because we are eligible, Adhikaritva is in the Saguna Bhavana. In the third shloka, Bhagavan talks about the Nirguna Tattva. He says, Ye tvak sharama anirdeshyam avyaktam paripasate. One who worships the Nirguna Tattva, and he describes the Nirguna Tattva Aksharam, which is changeless, indestructible, anirdeshyam, cannot be described by words or senses, avyaktam, which is unmanifest, formless, sarvatragama, which is omnipresent, all-pervasive, it is achintyam, it cannot be imagined by mind, and it is kutastha achalam dhruvam. And then in the fourth shloka, he describes 3 gunas or attributes for the Nirguna devotee. He says, Sanyam Yendriya Gramam, Indriya Sanyam, control over the senses is very, very important. He says, one who is Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha, who is equipoised, whose man is in Samata, Shanta, and one who is Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha, one who is involved in good of all the beings, who is Ahimsa, Sharira Dharma, Te prapnuvanti mameva, that only with this person, with these attributes, he can obtain or attain me, can become one with me, can become Advaita with me. And then in the fourth shloka, Bhagavan says, Kleshodhika tarastesha. For the Nirguna devotee says, one who is devoted to the Nirguna, formless Bhagavana Paramatma, he says they have more difficulties on their path. Klesha adhikatara klesha. Because the difficulties are much more avyakta sakta chetasam. He says, why also? He says, because deha vadbiravapyate. Because the people, most of the jivas, those who have more miseries, because they are more identified with their body, and that's why they are not able to, worship the one who is formless, without that, does not have form, which is unmanifest. And that's why what Arjuna needs to do, Bhagavan tells him in the 6th shloka, he says, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyastamat paraha. You start with the karma yoga, he says, you surrender all your actions, because you are all the time doing your actions. About 8 or 10 hours, we are all involved with our activities, our actions, our karma, our kartavya. And that's why he says, you surrender all your actions to me, make it as a bhakti, and you take refuge in me, you take surrender to me, ananyena naiva yogena, one-pointed communion, you connect with me, mam dhyayanto upasate, contemplate on me and devote to me. And what does Bhagavan do for such a devotee? He says, teshamaham samudharta. For such a devotee, he says, I deliver them, I free them. उद्धार करे छे भगवान, उनका उद्धार करते हैं. From where? He says, मृत्यु संसार सागरात, from this ocean of life and death. Bhavami nachirat partha. And it does not take time. He says, it is instant, it is soon. Maya veshita chetasam, for one who is already, for such a devotee whose mind is completely involved and is in communion with me, he says, I deliver them from this ocean of life and death, which is instant. And then Bhagavan is describing the steps of the bhakti. He shows the highest goal, which is a very important shloka. Bhagavan asks for everything from the jiva. He says, Mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhin niveshaya. Give me your mind and give me your intellect, because my mind and my intellect are the two biggest sadhanas that I have to connect to the divine. Bhagavan says, you give me this, both this, and he says, Nivasishyasi mayyeva, you shall live in me, ata urdhvam na sanshaya. There is no doubt about this. So mind and intellect is essentially our identity, and Bhagavan is asking for both, and it's like losing our identity, but it's actually not losing our identity, but we have to merge our identity with the eternal identity of the Lord. And the two biggest obstacles on our path, one is mamata, attachments, and this is the power of our mind, and second is ego, ahankara, our doership feeling, and this is the power of our intellect. And these two, when Bhagavan asks, he wants us to leave our mamata and our ahankara, so that we transfer all these mamata, ahankara from all the worldly attachments, and we transfer these to the Lord. And this is what is the Adhyatma Sadhana essentially. And then Arjuna may have asked, is there any other easier solution? This looks like very difficult to give you my mind and my intellect. Bhagavan says, Athachittam samadhatum. If you are not capable of controlling your mind, Bhagavan, Arjuna has already said in the previous adhyayas that this is very difficult to control the mind. Shaknosi mai sthiram, to steady the mind in the Lord. He says, Abhyasa yogena tato. Then by repeated practice, by repeated abhyasa, mamit chaptum dhananjaya, you desire to attain me, O Arjuna. Abhyasa yogena is the second solution that Bhagavan is showing. Abhyasapya samarthosi. Even if you are not capable of repeated study, abhyasa, Bhagavan is showing the third alternative. Matkarma paramo bhava, perform all your actions for me. You surrender all your actions. Madathamapi karmani, you do all your actions for me. And siddhim avapsyase, you shall achieve your goals. There is no doubt about it. And then Bhagavan shows the fourth alternative. Athait tadapya shaktos. If you are not even capable of doing this, surrendering all our actions to the Lord, kartu madhyogamashitaha, by surrendering to me, he says, then the fourth alternative is sarva karma phalatyagam. Then renounce all the fruits of actions to me by tata kuru yatatmavan, by having control over your mind, being, O Karu, he says. Sarva karma phalatyagam means, it does not mean that we don't desire for the fruits of our actions, but it only means that we don't have an invalid insistence, a jid or duragraha, an obstinacy for the results, that this should be like this only, everything should happen according to my own wish or desire. It's not possible. Because this understanding can come only if I understand that the karma actions are my choice, my right, my department, under my control. But the karma phala, the results of the action, is not under my control. It's not my choice. It is whatever I have to do, the best actions in the best way possible, and the fruits are given by him. I have to accept it gracefully as a prasada buddhi. And the next shloka, Bhagavan says, Shreyo hi gnanam abhyasat. So knowledge, he says, is better than abhyasa, repeated practice. Gnana dhyanam vishishyate. He says meditation is better than knowledge. Dhyanat karma phalatyaga. From renunciation of the fruits, karma phalatyaga is even better than meditation, he says. Why? Because tyaga chantin anantaram. Because giving up, renunciation of the fruits of action, giving up leads to lasting peace. This is the understanding. And this shloka has to be understood in better understanding, because here the gnana that Bhagavan is talking about, that gnana does not mean the Atma Gnana, it means understanding, because this is the Saguna Bhakti Prakarana, and that's why the meaning of this shloka also has to be understood accordingly. So in Saguna Bhakti, the dhyana is the pradhan sadhan, meditation with the understanding of the Lord's avatars and his Saguna Murti and his Saguna Shakti. And in the Nirguna formless devotion or upasana, the gnana is the pradhana sadhana, self-knowledge is the main. All the other sadhanas are supportive sadhanas, karma, upasana. And so it is according to the adhikaritva of the devotee, according to the seeker, what is his adhikaritva, he can go into saguna and into the nirguna, depending on whether we are pravutta karma pradhanya or nivrutta pradhanya, whether we have vairagya or not. But generally what it happens is that we can enter with the saguna bhakti, and then we can, from saguna bhakti, we can go to nirguna bhakti, as Bhagavan has already said. So summarizing, Bhagavan, first, Mayyeva mada adatsva, May buddhim niveshaya, mind and intellect you put in me. If you cannot do this, abhyasa yogena tato mamit chaptum dhananjaya, abhyasa, repeated practice. Even if you can't do this, then matkarma paramo bhava, you do all your actions for me. And if you can't do this, then sarva karma phalatyagam, renounce all the fruits of action. And how karma phalatyaga is best of all, he says, because there is instant peace, and only with the mind which is in equanimity, shant, only then we can do karma phala tyaga, and this can help us to develop our sadhana, because only with this we can have all our supportive sadhanas. In the last 7 shlokas of the 12th Adhyaya, Bhagavan talks about the attributes of the wise devotee, a Gnani Bhakta Lakshana. From the 30th to the 20th shlokas, he describes 33 attributes of a wise devotee. A devotee who after his spiritual journey attains a self-knowledge, what are his gunas, what are his natural sahaja, prakriti. And for the enlightened wise, these attributes come very naturally, they are sahaja. But for the seeker, they have to be learned and practiced with efforts. And that's why these serve as a very, very ideal for introspection in the journey of the seeker. So let us start with this Gnani Bhakta Lakshana. Adveshta sarva bhutanam, no dislike or hatred for anyone, being like a friend for all, and being compassionate to all, karuna and maitra. But when we become maitra and karuna, we should not get attached, we should remain nirmama, remain unattached in all our actions, relations, and do all our activities with nira ahankaraha, having no pride or doership for ourselves. Samadukha sukha, being equipoised in pain and pleasure, kshami, forgiving all, even those who cause pain to us. Satatam santushta, always satisfied. Satatam yogi, always connected. Yatatma, having a self-control. Dradhanishtaya, a firm resolution. Mayi arpita manah buddhi, whose mind and intellect is surrendered to me. Yaha mad bhakta same priya. Bhagavan says this kind of bhakta, mad bhakta, is very dear to me. And then he says, he describes all this samatva bhavna, yasman no dvijate loko, one who does not disturb others and one who is not disturbed by others, one who is free from harsha, amarsha, elation, all these waves of jealousy, all these waves of fear, anxiety, stress, one is mukta, one is free from all this, that bhakta is dear to me. Bhagavan, and the next he says, anapeksha, one who is devoid of expectations, one who is shuchi, one who is pure from antar shuchi, one who is daksha, one who is skillful, one who is udasana, who is risen above, does not take sides, who is dispassionate, one who is gatavyathaha, one whose anguish is destroyed, sarva aramba parityagi, one who gives up all selfish actions, yo mad bhakta same priya. Bhagavan says, such a devotee of mine is very, very dear to me. Yo na yashyati na dveshti, one who is not elated, neither very hostile, na shochati na kankshati, who does not grieve nor has many desires, shubha shubha parityagi, one who has given up whatever is auspicious, unauspicious. Such a devotee, bhakti manma manya same priya, is very dear to me. And then he says, samah shatraucha mitrecha, one who has equanimity towards friend, enemy, one who remains samatva in mana, apmana, honor, disgrace, one who remains the same in all the dualities of the world, like Shita, Ushna, pairs of opposites like cold, heat, pain, and pleasure. Samasanga Vivarjita, one who is free from attachments, Raga Varjitaha. Tulya Ninda Stutir Bauni, one who is equal in Ninda and Stuti, one who is Bauni, who is disciplined in speech, one who is Santushta, Yena Kena Chita, one who is Aniketaha, does not get a lot of attachment to his own home or his own place. Stiramati, who is knowledge, and his Mati is Stira. Bhaktiman me Same Priyaha. Bhagavan says, this kind of devotee is very beloved to me. And finally, in the last shloka of the 20th Adhyaya, Bhagavan says, Ye tu dharmyam amrutam idam yathoktam paripasate. One who follows all these values that Bhagavan has shown in life, keeping in mind that these values are related to dharma. If I follow these values, I lead a dharmic life. He says, Amrutam, they are all Amrutam idam, they will lead to immortality, because with this Sadguna I can purify my inner self and go to Atma Jnana. Yatoktam paripasate, as has been told, if one upholds these values in life, puts them into practice in life with Shraddha Mat Parama, with a lot of faith, by understanding to surrender to the God, with understanding that God is the only goal. Bhakta te ativa me priyaha. Bhagavan says, those devotees are exceedingly beloved to me. We can get into the list of God's loved ones, and everyone wants to be loved by the God, but we should try to imbibe these values in our life as Bhagavan has described. So to summarize the steps of spiritual journey, for the Sattva Guni Upasana is the way to purify our inner self. Nirguna Upasana is the highest form of devotion, but Bhagavan has already said, Adhikatara Kleshaha, it is more difficult. Arupa Upasana of the unmanifest. Vishwarupa Upasana of the cosmic form, which is Aneka Rupa Upasana of very various divine manifestations that are described in the 11th Adhyaya, with the Karya Karana, with the Mana Buddhi. Abhyasa Yogena Tato. By repeated practice of these kind of Upasana, we can have Upasana in the Ekarupa, our Ekanishta, or our one Avatara Swarupa. But for a Rajoguni who is more into karma, physical karma, for them Karma Yoga, Ishwararpana Bhavana, doership feeling, being the Nimitta Matra Bhava, selfless action, Niswartha Karma, action for devotion, worship is the way. By renouncing the fruits of action, Karma Phala Tyaga Bhakti, this is the understanding that Bhagavan says. So from the Bhagavan's vision, karma and bhakti are not very different. They are one and the same, because in bhakti also we have to do some karma. In karma is essentially a lot of bhakti is involved, surrender and Ishwararpana Bhavana, Karma Phala Tyaga Bhavana, Prasada Buddhi Bhavana. So Karma Yoga is also bhakti, and Bhakti Yoga is also karma. It's all together, and this is what Bhagavan says. According to our own eligibility, we have to do. And this Sadguna that Bhagavan has talked about, the Jnani Bhakta Lakshana, this essentially involves a change management in our life. We can change and imbibe all these by having small goals, take one step at a time, slowly and steadily. Guruji teaches us that we should keep pushing our limits, pursue our goals with a very positive attitude, keep trying, because we'll falter on this path, but make changes that change our life for better. We keep doing it, keep practicing it. It may create some pain, miseries in our life, but then eventually we need to understand that all the change that happens very slowly, it's not easy to change our old habits, but it is definitely possible, because Bhagavan is describing, none else than Bhagavan Shri Krishna is describing this. It needs a repeated practice in our life to make this possible. So with this we come to the end of the 12th Adhyaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parah Brahma, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.